Texas lands another commitment, this time from four-star defensive lineman Dylan Berryman. I appreciate you guys joining me. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe down below. It really helps out the channel. We are here every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, breaking it down for you. And let's get into this really quickly. So Dylan Berryman chooses Texas. It is the 9th commitment in the class now for Texas, climbing ever so higher. Obviously, Sark does not play the short game here. He plays the long game. Takes this into the summer. You're going to see a lot of commitments in June, a lot of commitments in July, a lot in August as well. Let's get into Dylan Berryman. So very sudden quickness. When you watch his tape, he is a very sudden football player, moves very well for his size, 6'2", 305 pounds, a guy that I think is going to play around 325 to 335 when he does play at Texas, maybe even a little bit higher. I think he's going to play the nose tackle position at Texas as well. In high school, he moves all around. We see this guy line up on the edge, on the inside, over the guard sometimes. So I think there's a chance here that he might be able to do that at Texas, move around a little bit. But I really do think this is just a nose tackle. There, power is the main thing with him. When you see him, he is able to blow people off the line of scrimmage in particular. He puts a lot of offensive linemen on their butts, which is very, very good. Obviously, what you want to see from a very high quality defensive lineman, and that's exactly what this guy is. He also has a very quick first step, and I think that goes by the stats. You know, the guy had 8 tackles for loss last year. He had 7 sacks, 38 tackles overall. So think about that. 8 of his 38 tackles are tackles for loss. You have to be pretty quick to get in the backfield and make plays as well. So overall, I think he's a really, really good player for this Texas football team. I think he's someone that I don't think he plays very much in his first year, but I think his second year, he has a very big chance of coming on at the University of Texas. And it's cool that we also land someone from Louisiana, again, from Monroe, Louisiana, get our Pauls into Louisiana, keep them there because they produce very high quality football players. I think per capita, they're right up there with Texas. I think it's Texas, Georgia, Louisiana, California, Ohio. Those are the main 5 that you look at. Florida as well, main 6. So it's awesome anytime we can pull someone out of that backyard because it's hard to get, guys. LSU, obviously being a powerhouse there. And then these guys are brainwashed. If you look at all the high school colors, purple and gold for all of them, they're all usually called Tigers, and they brainwash these kids basically to go to LSU. So very impressive job by the staff. Very impressive job by Kenny Baker. And honestly, it's kind of weird because LSU really wasn't in the mix here, guys. It was Texas, Purdue, which is shocking to me. Those were really the final 2. Barry Odom, very good defensive coordinator. Now the head coach at Purdue wanted this guy. So to me, again, radar should go off telling you, hey, this is a really good football player. According to 247 Composite, we're talking about the 104 or 174th best player in the nation. I think 247 alone has him as the 95th best player. So you're looking at a bona fide top 150 player when it's all said and done. That means a lot. That closes the gap on teams like Georgia. That closes the gap on teams like Ohio State. So keep this guy in the boat. I think he's going to be a very good player. USC was also in the mix here. Mississippi State was in the mix a little bit, but it was really Texas and Purdue, and they did a good job closing this out. When we talk about relationships still mattering in recruiting, I think they do because this guy was offered pretty early, guys. We're talking a year and 6 days ago, he was offered at the University of Texas. He came on. They saw him at a camp. He visited, and they offered him. And a year and 6 days later, he is committed to the University of Texas. Nicholas Robertson as well was a guy at that camp, also landed at Texas. So recruiting, obviously, NIL's talked about a lot, but relationships still do matter. When you have a relationship with a guy for over a year, it matters. I think a telling sign is when someone brings a lot of their family on the visit. You know, we saw DeCorian Moore bring a lot of his family, but I believe his mom was not there on that visit, and that tells me something. Didn't end up going to Texas. Dylan Berryman, a lot of his family came in, including his parents. So that told me a lot, and he ends up at the University of Texas in a little Sark after dark, if you will, because that has been, trademarked basically, and he's doing it at 11:07 Eastern time, 10:07 Central time. He lands Dylan Berryman, or when I'm coming live to you. Kenny Baker, I think, needs to be praised here because Kenny Baker has done a fantastic job recruiting, guys. He really has. There were question marks coming in from the NFL. He's really only been at Western Kentucky for a year or 2, and he didn't have, it's hard to tell there because it's not a prominent school. So he comes in, he's done phenomenally at recruiting. You're landing Justice Terry last year. You're landing a Dylan Berryman this year. You're landing countless other guys and being able to keep guys in the boat too. And then we heard Alfred Collins and Vernon Broughton talk about this guy being a technician, and he's done a really good job of teaching these guys. Vernon Broughton played very well last year, his best season. Alfred Collins, best season, ended up as a second-round pick. So Kenny Baker deserves a lot of praise here. It's really exciting times with him at the University of Texas. We are finally getting legit defensive linemen at the University of Texas. I think if you look back in the past, offensive linemen and defensive linemen is what we lacked. We always had a decent quarterback. You know, we did miss a couple years there, but not very many. I mean, even Shane Buechele was a decent quarterback. David Ash, decent quarterback, just couldn't stay healthy. But we didn't have those prototypical offensive and defensive linemen. And you've seen that the past couple years with Tavondre Sweat, Byron Murphy, Alfred Collins, Vernon Broughton, Kelvin Banks, Cam Williams. All these guys getting drafted and playing in the NFL and getting drafted highly in certain situations. So this is another line or another person in line, hopefully, to get drafted highly in the NFL and play very well at the University of Texas. But overall, I'm very excited about this player. He is the 9th commitment in this class. And I expect this, like I said, I expect this class to grow a lot in the coming months of June, July, and August. So please be there for that. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe down below. Stick around with us as I come in and break this news as it happens. I really appreciate you guys sticking around. And then, as always, guys, we have a live show every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Subscribe and check that out with us. Thank you guys. And as always, hook 'em.